mentally you have to understand Jake is still my friend, even though he's doing whatever this is that's making me mad.
And you're exhausted.
And I'm exhausted, so
angry.
that just makes me want to lash out more. It's okay. This is just basketball, and basketball shouldn't be your identity. Like, the ball's gonna stop bouncing eventually. This isn't the end all be all. Like, we're still gonna all graduate. We're all gonna be good people.
All right, welcome to the podcast. Man, we got Sam, Jake, and Andrew from Washburn basketball on the pod. Come on.
We're here.
Welcome to the studio, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Come on, glad you guys
to
are
the
here.
studio.
Yeah.
So, man, you had an incredible run. Obviously, you had a lot of people in Topeka following the season. I heard it was record attendance throughout the season, all those kinds of things. Two of you guys are graduating, one of you's coming back. Maybe just like start introducing yourselves, like where are you from? What did you major in school? And then maybe we can get into like what was it like in the season.
We can get into how much NIL money they made.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Goose egg.
All right, I'll start. I'm Sam Ungashick. I'm from Overland Park, Kansas, Blue Valley West, just down the street from Andrew. I've spent 1 year at Benedictine College my freshman year. I was fortunate enough to have a good year there, and then I decided it was time to go, and Washburn, the opportunity here came about, and I'm majoring in accounting and marketing.
Let's go, man. Was that Benedictine and Atchison?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Okay.
Sweet, man.
Nice.
Thanks,
I'm
man.
Jake Schadegg. I'm from Orlando, Florida.
Let's go.
Went to a junior college my first 2 years in Illinois, Southern Illinois area. So been at Washburn. This is my third year now, so majoring in kinesiology.
Let's go.
Nice.
And you're coming back for a master's degree?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Being a grad assistant next year for the basketball team.
Let's
Heck
go,
yeah.
bro. Let's go.
I'm Andrew Orr. I'm from Overland Park as well. Sam and I grew up literally down the street from each other. We didn't know each other growing up, but we found our ways to each other.
Wow,
somehow.
yeah. That's wild.
I went to Blue Valley North High School. I've been at Washburn for all 4 years and majoring in sociology, graduating this spring. And then once I graduate, kind of just seeing where life takes me, hopefully somewhere fun.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So we have 2 Kansas City guys and an Orlando, Florida guy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so hit us. Actually, I don't know if I want them to hit it to us straight. Tell me a little bit about Topeka. You guys haven't been here for super long. I grew up here, so I know Topeka like the back of my hand. Was there anything that was surprising about Topeka? Anything that you enjoy or anything you don't like?
I mean, I've been here for 4 years, like I said, and the biggest thing that I've started to realize is it's kind of bigger than I thought it was going to be. Like, because you kind of hear about Topeka, it's the capital city, but you don't really hear about anything other than the capital itself,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's like you don't really think of it other than, the capital's there and that's really it. I mean, you have...
And the university's like pretty close to the
yeah,
capital.
it is. So
it
it's
could
like
seem
it's all
that's
within
it.
about a 2-mile radius of each other. So
Right.
it's kind of hard
Right.
to... But if you go outside of that, like there is honestly a lot of people and diversity in Topeka. It's a very
Right.
diverse place too.
Yeah.
And that's what I've noticed the most about it in my 4 years here. I don't know about you guys.
What about you guys?
I think it's like a small town feel, but like in a big city kind of.
Right.
Not really. I don't really know how to explain it. It's like it does have like a small town feel, but like you said, it is big and
Yeah.
like diverse.
Yeah, a lot of people call Topeka a big, small town.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Literally.
because it does. It has that vibe. Like a lot of times, like the longer you're here, you can't go anywhere without recognizing people.
Exactly.
And so, which is
exactly,
kind of a
like-
small town vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, kind of like Andrew, I haven't heard like the best things about Topeka.
Yeah.
Most of the people,
Especially if you're from Kansas City. I feel like
Yeah.
you're just inundated probably
Exactly.
like Topeka's the worst.
most of the people, when I tell them I go to Washburn, they're like, "Oh, like how do you like Topeka?" And I honestly think it's pretty great. Like it's got everything you need. I went to college at in Atchison for a year, so I kind of have that really small town experience
Yeah.
with not a lot of things just to do. You kind of had to figure out how to entertain yourself. So
Dude, and Atchison is wild. Like when they get the grain elevator going and the whole town just like reeks
yeah,
of like alcohol, like whatever the grain that they're like.
yeah.
Well, we have
barley.
that too over
Yeah,
South.
barley, exactly, yeah.
We have that too over in Southeast Boulevard. Frito-Lay's right there.
Man, it
That's
smells
true.
They're
just
pumping
as
out-
bad. It
Oh,
smells
yeah.
worse than...
But it doesn't necessarily cover the whole city,
No,
does
it
it? It's
doesn't.
like
It's-
in Atchison, like you can't be anywhere and it's
without
like
smelling it, yeah.
you're like, oh my gosh, like your windows are up, the AC's off, and it's just killing you.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like we grew up in Overland Park, and it's kind of a bubble in Overland Park a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you grow up there, and especially like I didn't travel a whole lot, and so I didn't really get to experience what it was like outside of where I grew up, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
coming to Topeka was like the first time living somewhere else other than where I grew up. And it was
Yeah.
really nice because of how, like I said, diverse it is. And it's something I didn't expect. And it's nice to be able to experience something new when I necessarily wasn't looking for that type of experience.
Yeah.
Orlando, Florida. Had you even heard of Topeka?
I had
Really?
because like my parent or my dad's from like Illinois area, so like I'm kind of familiar with the Midwest, and I lived in Illinois, my high school years, so I'm kind of familiar with it.
Yeah.
Drove through here like once or twice before. But,
Really?
Okay.
On your way to Denver or something?
yeah.
Nice. Good call.
Yeah,
Good call.
I was like, the only reason, like, where else would you go? Yeah.
But yeah, I've kind of driven through it. So, but other than that, didn't really hear much of it.
So
but,
did you get recruited to Topeka?
Yes.
Is that how you got? Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Nice.
But I mean, being here, I love it. I love Topeka.
Man.
Speaking of recruitment, I had a buddy. He used to be a coach over at Washburn, and I want to hear from what you guys used to be recruits. I want to hear if this is accurate. He told me, he was a tennis coach, and he said, they were recruiting guys from all over across the country. Division, a lot of Division II guys are all getting recruited to similar spots.
Yeah.
He said recruiting was hard to get people to come to Topeka. But once he got them on Washburn's campus, it was over.
Yeah.
He said, if I got them on campus, I was going to get them because
Definitely.
Washburn's campus and their facilities are just so much nicer than other Division IIs. Is that accurate? I mean, you're nodding your head. I mean, walk us through maybe a little bit of that.
Definitely the case for me. Like when I came here, I had went to a few other schools in like the conference, and
Other like D2 schools,
Yeah.
similar.
And when I came here, I was blown away by the facilities, and,
Really?
like, the campus. I was like, wow, no other school that I went to
Yeah.
has what this. school.
Really?
It's a pretty head and shoulders difference from most Division II programs. Like even like some of those smaller, like low mid-major Division I programs, like their facilities like aren't as nice. And I think Washburn being like it's only in this block radius. I don't know exactly how, but it's only in
Right,
from 17th to 21st,
Right,
Vicar
yeah.
to
Yeah, it's like a
whatever.
one city block.
Yeah, exactly. And so having it condensed down makes it so like we can put like Washburn can put its money and keep putting it back into its
Right.
facilities and stuff. So it's not trying to expand
Right.
because it's all right here. There's no need to go anywhere else. Like
Yeah, I mean, how many other schools have like an indoor facility?
oh my
like they
gosh.
just built?
Like,
Yeah.
So like Pitt State I know has a really nice one, but like outside I don't know any other Division II schools that have one that looks like ours.
Hmm.
Yeah. Did they have when you were getting recruited, did they have the indoor facility?
Yeah. So on my visit, like we went to the indoor and we went to all these facilities, and like by halfway through the visit, I was like, if they offer me at the end of this, I'm gonna come in.
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
gonna say,
please offer. Please
So-
offer.
So
Yeah.
when you say facilities, like, I mean, I immediately think of the big indoor complex.
Mhm,
But what
definitely.
else, I guess, goes into that when you're a recruit and you say Washburn's facilities are so nice, head and shoulders above everyone else? What kind of, what else?
We have our weight room. That's super nice. There's like 30 yards of turf. There's a ton of racks. I don't even know how many
Yeah.
Oh,
racks.
dang.
And then there's like another upper level of a bunch of machines and things that you would need. And then we have our gym that's getting renovated, and you could just tell that a lot of people cared. A lot of donors cared about the gym.
Hmm.
And then we got the upstairs
Yeah.
gym. Trying to think what else.
Yeah.
Like, football stadium, super nice.
Yeah,
for the
football stadium.
soccer
I mean,
team and
the tennis
football team.
courts,
Yeah.
the baseball field
I was
just
gonna
got
say.
renovated. The softball
Yeah.
field, they're
Softball
Yeah.
both getting
getting
ready to
renovated,
put. They
yeah.
put like new locker rooms in the softball. Like every single, at least from an athletics point of view,
Right.
every single department
Hmm.
seems to be taken care of. Obviously, it's hard because some departments bring in more money than others, so it's like you got to kind of balance that out.
Sure.
But I mean, almost if you're coming here for any type of sport, it's one of the best places in the
Yeah.
country for Division II sports.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
My
That's
favorite
sweet.
part is Lee Arena.
yeah,
That's my favorite.
Yeah. What do you like about it?
The lighting.
The
It's
lighting.
bright, and then obviously the new Capitol Federal Room.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah. That's new this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that the
Yeah.
glass boxes?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's super nice.
Yeah, it looks really nice. When we first
Oh,
got
yeah.
it, it was like, dang, I want to watch the games from in there.
I
Sad
know.
we have to play. I want to watch. From
How
in
do
there.
you get in? There's like membership boxes or like what is it?
Kind of. It's kind of like another donor room, but
Okay,
I
yeah.
think there's like also an upper level too, where you
Yeah,
can like
yeah.
go stand up on top. I'm not too super knowledgeable on how you get connected with that.
Yeah.
I got to watch one game from in there because I
Of
worked.
course you did.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, Mr. Big Time.
Yeah,
it
of
wasn't.
course you did.
It wasn't my money,
He was
but
probably like making a business deal.
yeah, exactly. We're selling houses in there. No, but so I work for Genesis Realtors. So every time you guys, switch a 3, they yell out our name. It's the best money we've ever spent.
1, 2, 3.
Yes,
Yep,
it's hilarious. Our company pays for that, and you go to a game, and especially this year, you guys are switching 3s every other shot. It's like, oh my gosh, where our name's just getting blasted out. So we got to go for one game and sit in there because we paid for that.
That's cool.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty funny.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about what you said about how coming to a new place on your own and feeling like the diversity. And I remember when I went to college, it's really cool because it's like a little microcosm of like the whole world.
Yeah.
Because you have not only people from all over the United States, but you have, I mean, even the size of Washburn of 7,000 students at Washburn.
Yeah.
At least 500, maybe 1,000 international students.
Yeah.
So you have people from
Yeah.
all over the world. And so I thought it was that part of it was really fun.
Yeah.
You're getting to connect with all these people from cultures and backgrounds you never would have experienced in a small town, let alone, people who grew up in Florida and other places, huge cities. But like we have kids in our church from Tokyo and Nepal and Europe, and I'm like, it's just, man, this is so fun.
Yeah.
Like it really is a global kind of mini experience here.
I think Washburn's also special in that way because I think our international staff, like at Washburn, that goes out to get people to come from international places, like they are really good at getting people to come to Washburn. Like we treat our international students really well at Washburn. And
That's cool.
I think that's a big reason that's a big part of it.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
Well, you guys want to jump into the season?
Yeah.
Tell
sure.
us, what was it like this season?
Crazy.
Yeah, I have so many questions. I want to what was different about this season than previous seasons? Was it just like the stars aligning with all of the training and recruiting and everything, or was something done differently this season than last season?
Got it.
I would say the biggest thing is we had experience under our belt. We had nobody from last year's team left, so besides 2 guys, but we had no seniors, so just having that experience back, and then also adding Jacob Hanna to our roster helped a lot. So
Yeah, he's good at putting the ball in the hoop.
definitely,
He's good at putting
he's a
that ball
bucket
in that
getter.
basket.
Yeah, he's aggressive too.
Yeah, he is.
Like he's gonna make a play. Yeah. Where did he get recruited from?
Illinois Springfield.
Cool.
So
Was that in the transfer portal?
Yeah.
Or? Okay.
It's another D2 school in the GLBC. So
Nice.
Yeah. I would say the biggest difference between this year and the last years that I've been here is the camaraderie between the team, like the locker room.
definitely.
Like my freshman year, we went to the national tournament and we were close. Obviously, was a freshman, so I was still trying to figure out what it was like to be a college basketball player.
Right.
But I mean, all those guys were good buddies, but everybody in our locker room, everyone likes each other. Like anybody could hang out with one another one-on-one and it would be totally fine.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think that's really rare in college sports, especially just because it's interests are conflicting so much. Everyone wants to play,
Right.
obviously. So it's kind of hard, especially for men. Everyone's trying to be out there doing their thing.
It's like you're friends, but you're also competing against.
Yeah,
the
so
guy.
that's kind of a hard line to ride, And so I think our ability to do that and still be okay, be able to compete and talk smack on the court to each other,
Right.
and then be able to step off and then be like, all right, we're still friends. We live together. So we're going to get along. I'm not going to hate you because you were killing me in practice today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was what I thought the biggest difference was.
I bet that is super unique for basketball because you have 5 starters. On a football team, you have 22 guys that are going after it, and even then you have guys that are playing all the time, special teams and all that. Where you have a team of I don't know how many's on a football team, but you're not competing as much for a starting role or serious minutes. Everyone has a role. Versus in basketball, it's you got 5 dudes, 6, 7 that are kind of getting in and out.
And
quite
I
a
would
bit.
say the other thing with that too is with football, you have 115 dudes on a team.
Right.
We have 15 total.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's it makes it so
You're
we have
very
a lot
aware.
more. Yeah, and we have a lot more individual one-on-one time with each other. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
It's just we have more the ability to make more connections just because we're around each other so much. There's some guys that play football. I know on a football team they don't even know people on the other because offense and defense are separated. So it's there's no point for an offensive lineman to know the safeties. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
And so that's why I think it's the coolest thing.
Yeah, I think like Andrew said, like everybody was kind of competing for spots at the start of the year, preseason. It was really competitive, yeah. But then once the season got going, I think Coach Ballard did a pretty good job of defining roles and what he expected from everybody. And obviously, not everybody was like happy or excited about their specific role that they were assigned almost. But I think a lot of people just bought into it, and that's what made us so good, because no one was. Towards the end of the year, everybody just wanted to win. I don't think there was anybody on the team that was upset about playing time or upset about the amount of shots that they were getting up or anything like that. But
I think winning makes that easier too.
Yeah.
You're winning games
when you're excited,
and you know your role. It's like if I'm doing my role good and we're winning games, it's like it's easy to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? So
that is true. When you're losing, it's easy to like, this is your fault. If you were doing what I would do, Tell me a little more about that. I'm curious how that dynamic works, because it seems like a really sensitive dynamic where you do need the camaraderie and chemistry and cohesion, but there also is a real individualistic, competitive nature where, like I'm competing against him for that spot. How do you guys manage that? Where you're, like even what you're saying, like kind of talking trash on the court a little bit to like spur each other on, and but then like off the court we're buddies, but also I'm kind of competing against you. Like how did you navigate that like dynamic?
I feel like you just gotta flip this. Like you gotta flip the switch right when you get back into the locker room. You're like, okay, practice was practice. Like let's move on. Like if it was a competitive practice, good. Like we all got better.
Okay,
like, we got the team better. Like that's like our job. Like as teammates is to get each other better. So like, and then just like right after that, like flip it. We're best friends again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Are there guys who can't do that?
No, I was gonna say, like on the team, I think we have the right guys to be able to do what he said, and like no one's gonna hold a grudge against you. Like if they see you on the weekend, they're not gonna remember Wednesday's practice when you said this to them or when you
bullied them in the paint.
Yeah, exactly. It's not really like that at all.
I was gonna say I'm a super competitive guy too, so like. No. I'll try to get under people's skin.
Jake and I go at each other a lot.
These guys almost fought.
We end up going at each other
like we're best friends, and we've almost fought in practice before, but like that's just like all love, like trying to get each other better. So
it also helps that we don't really guard each other a whole lot. Yeah. So I'm going. I'm trying to set a screen, and he tries to hit me a little hard. I'm going to try and hit him a little hard. So
does it? I imagine maybe part of it helps that. I mean, athletics is a different animal than a lot of people's normal day-to-day experience. Like, I think people like athletics, and we love like movies about athletes and stuff, because it's like, I want relationships like that. That like, you're trying to like push each other and you're trying to accomplish something really big. But most people don't have a context for that kind of like a normal friendship, in class or at your job or whatever. But I wonder, do you think it's because like all of you guys are athletes, all of you guys want to get better, all of you kind of have a general understanding, like, hey, it's just kind of how it works. Like on the court, I'm going to do everything in my power to like get better and try hard and win. And then when we're off the court, it's like, well, we were just like we were being athletes, and that's what we do. And off the court, it's understood like, hey, I'm not actually pissed at you.
I think the biggest misunderstanding is like people that necessarily aren't athletes that are like on the outside looking in at kind of like what we do. Is they see just like the physical strain that we go through. They see how hard it is physically. But I think it's just as much mental as it is physical. And I think that plays a big part in it. Like if you're mentally where you need to be and like you can talk to your like on the court or off the court, it's like being able to have your friends, like understanding it kind of is what it is.
What do you mean? Like what part of the mental part of that? Like
navigating so like that you have to be able to put, but it's also like in practice, like mentally you have to understand. Even if we are competing, like I still have to think like my body is physically really tired. So I have to have the mental strength to think like, okay, Jake is still my friend, even though he's doing whatever this is that's making me mad.
And you're exhausted.
And I'm exhausted. So that just makes me want to lash out more.
Right.
But it's like being able to take a step back even after that mental and physical exhaustion and be like, all right, like it's okay. This is just basketball. And Coach Ballard always says like basketball shouldn't be your identity. Like we're all basketball players. We like playing basketball, but like the ball is going to stop bouncing eventually.
Wow.
And so understanding that this isn't the end all be all, like we're still going to all graduate. We're all going to be good people. And that's really the main goal at the end of the day.
Wow, that's really cool. Well, speaking of Coach Ballard, what are some of the best things about having Coach Ballard as your guys' coach? How long has he been there again? And fire away.
I think he did a really good job this year of just kind of being our leader, being our guy that in practice he just I feel like he's just did a great job of
Consistency
coaching us
is the word that I would use.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's gonna come every day with the same mindset. Like
Yeah.
he's not gonna let us BS. Like
Whether we
we're
want to
gonna-
be there or not,
Yeah.
he's going to come in with the
Yeah.
same mindset. 'Cause I think that's one of the biggest things with college sports is you're not going to come in every single day to practice and be like, oh, yeah, I love this. Like, I'm so
Right,
excited
yeah.
to be here. And he knows that. He
Updates
played
and
college
downdays.
basketball. He knows that.
Yeah,
but it's
he
like
understands
being
that.
able to find that,
happy medium.
happy medium of pushing your players to a point where it's like, all right, I want them to enjoy it, but I don't want them to hate being here. I don't want them to hate coming to practice.
Right.
And so I think he did a good job, especially this year, at really finding that happy medium and pushing us the right way.
Oh, that's cool.
I think
Yeah.
that the fact that he played in college at a high level is what helps him a lot in gauging how we feel and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's
heck yeah.
dope. It's got to feel good as a player knowing he played at a high level at KU on a
Yeah,
good team. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It also kind of stinks sometimes. And he's like, I know I've been this tired before. You guys can push me.
Yeah, you can't BS him.
Yeah, we get it. We get it. We know.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's not like a guy who never played. Like, you don't understand what I'm going through.
Yeah,
right
like
now.
you can't say that. He
Yeah.
definitely understands.
Man,
that's
that's,
funny.
wild. It's interesting what you said about. It's cool how he's like, hey, basketballs can't be our identity, but I could see how someone could try to critique that and be like, hey, if you preach that too hard, then the guys might not try as hard because they're less invested. If it's not, you know what I'm saying? If it's not part of their identity, that obviously was not the case. You guys had an amazing season. How did that dynamic work? Where it's like, okay, this is not my identity. You know, if we lose, I'm not a total failure as a man, but I'm also like highly invested. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
The first thing I would say, I think that gets harder. Like the further we got into the postseason, it gets harder to lose. Not like
Right.
I think mentally it gets harder to lose. Like if you lose, it takes more out of you.
right? Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you're so amped up and you want to win so bad. It's like losing regular season games. Like obviously we're trying to win those, but it's like if you lose a regular season game, okay, there's a next one. Like there's another one we can
Right.
play.
Yeah.
When the postseason, if you lose, like you're done.
It's over.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, you
that
do.
like the reason it got so hard to lose is because everybody kind of had this growing sense of like tense, and we all wanted to win for each other. No one necessarily wanted to just have the spotlight on themselves. I don't think this year. And
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, obviously guys did. And that's just how it works, how basketball works. But I think everybody really just wanted to win for each other.
Yeah.
Definitely, I agree. I think that we all just wanted to keep playing and to keep moving on. I mean, getting to the Elite Eight was crazy. It was an insane experience. So just having that like experience and then like getting there, we were like, okay, we have to go win now. But obviously we fell short. But
Hey, this can't be your identity. And I think some might hear something like that. They're like, well, if you preach to guys that this isn't their identity, then you're telling them to have less investment in this,
Yeah.
and they're going to try less hard because it doesn't matter as much if they lose,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like, well, it's not this isn't who I am. But that obviously didn't happen.
Yeah.
You guys were highly invested and very competitive and won.
Yeah.
Had a high level of success.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering, like, how that dynamic actually, like, not putting your identity in basketball actually led to a high level of success. Actually,
I think he knew he could say that because he knew that we cared about it enough where it was like he didn't want us to overly care about it. Like we had been coming in working out together since June.
yeah.
So it's like he knew that we were invested into this team, into this season. So that was never a question whether we were invested. It was like, but your being mentally where you need to be, like I said earlier, is just as important as physically. So I
Right.
think that's kind of where he was coming from, is he wants us to be in a mentally good spot. 'Cause it's like if we're just
Right.
worried about basketball and winning the whole time. As a 22-year-old kid, 21, like last year, I was really anxious about winning games. Like it was not frustrating, but you think about it a lot. And so
Yeah.
saying that takes off some of the pressure, I think, for us.
like being too hard on yourself. you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Where it's like kind
Yeah.
of how you said, if you lose, it's not the end all be all. Like
Right.
we lost in the Final Four, and like it was awful at the time. But then after you look back, and it's like, all right, like we did almost everything we could to
Right.
to try and win.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
It's amazing.
As you guys look back on your entire season, what would you say is like the pinnacle of the high moment? Like, what was there a particular game or a particular time during the season? You're like,
I already know my
this is
answer.
it.
I hear yours.
Definitely the games that were the national tournament games that were home.
Mhm.
The 3 games that
Oh,
were
yeah.
the regional games. We played Harding and then Concordia St. Paul and Minnesota State Moorhead. And by far the moment that I remember the most is when Michael
Mike,
Keegan
Yes.
dunked the
Oh,
ball.
100%.
And I couldn't
Uh-huh.
even hear myself yelling in
Yeah.
the arena. I thought that was awesome.
That was bonkers.
Yeah.
I was like 2 rows behind your
Yeah.
bench.
Yeah.
And it was so amazing.
I think I ran onto the court and I don't think the play was dead. So
I think they're still going on.
Yeah.
on the court.
I don't know what happened.
Dude, yeah, the video of like the angle of the bench, everyone just jumping
Yeah,
off
it
the
was
bench, just
crazy.
screaming.
Yeah.
That was so amazing.
It was crazy.
Well, anticipation's a funny thing because
Yeah.
like, you watch those videos and you see it, like you can see it all happening. You
Right.
can see everybody on their face, their bench their
Yeah.
face just lights up, and so it's like you can tell it's coming. But I'm the same way. All those postseason games in the
Yeah.
Central region that were in Topeka, like all those, there were so many people that came to watch us play, and I
Yeah.
thought it was
Yeah.
one of the coolest things I've experienced in my time as a Washburn basketball player, at least. Like seeing all those people, and then my favorite moment for the whole season was Mike's dunk. He honestly had a couple.
Yeah.
Multiple
for
like
sure.
dunks like that throughout the season where he either putting guys on a poster or just
Mm.
coming down doing something you didn't expect to see. And so I think Mike is gonna end up taking the crown for most top plays on the team.
Oh,
this year.
really? Yeah,
I
that's
think
awesome.
So, yeah.
Well, I think he
Wow.
dunked on somebody like the 2 dudes in the first
Yeah,
game of the
first
year,
2
and I
games,
just
yeah.
that was kind of the moment where I realized
Yeah.
this is gonna be a fun season.
Yeah.
It's going to be a theme for the
Yeah.
season. Yeah, that's
And
dope.
also like the moment that I think that I'll remember for a while is when me and my roommate were walking into Lee Arena for our game and all the doors had red signs on that said sold out. So
Wow.
that was
Nice.
pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Do you have a favorite moment?
Probably the Moorhead game, like just like cutting down the nets, like knowing that we were gonna go to the Elite Eight was
Yeah.
Yeah.
crazy.
It's like you
feeling.
talk about it all year. You talk about making
Yeah.
it that far all year. And it's
Uh-huh.
like talking about it and actually doing it are 2 very different things.
Oh yeah.
And so when you actually get there, it's kind of like, wow, like I knew this was possible, but it's like I didn't even like.
That's like
I
what you
was-
said. Yeah. Anticipation is a
Yeah.
funny thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Could you guys feel the support from Topeka growing as the season went on? And I guess, and at what point in the season did you realize, or when did you first realize, like, okay, there are more people here than what we're used to?
Well, I'm in the process of reaching out for internships and jobs right now, and so everybody I'm talking to is telling me that they were watching us and that they were at the games and they were watching us on ESPN Plus when we were at the Elite Eight. And then even we went to the Capitol the other day. These guys weren't there, but we were at the Capitol on Friday morning, and all of the Congress people were telling us that they were tuned in for our game.
Yeah.
Wow.
How entertaining we were. I was
That's
like,
kind of
Yeah.
That
it
is
was
wild.
kind of crazy to
You're
hear
like,
that.
you know who I am?
Yeah,
This is
like,
crazy.
There were thousands and thousands of people that were supporting us, which is so cool.
yeah.
Wow.
No, I feel like over the course of this season, like every game we won, like the next game there would be a little bit more people. Like
Yeah.
next
Mhm.
game, a little bit more
Yeah.
people. So like, and then it just got to a point where it was like, wow, there's a lot of people in the stands.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you blink and it's like, wow, there really
Yeah. It's
are. There was a lot of anticipation coming in for our team too. Like we were ranked in the top 10 like the beginning of the season, and then we kind of stayed there all. Like we never left the top 10, and so people kind of knew that we were good, but they didn't know like to the extent of how good we could actually be. And so I think after like winter break, when we were still undefeated, like we were still winning games, those next couple home games after winter break, you really started to see it kind of blow up and started to see a lot of more people at our games. And so that's when I noticed the influx of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Wild. So tell us about the tournament. What was it like going to the Elite Eight? It had been, what, like 25 years or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2001, 24, I believe.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
24 years. What was that like?
That was a surreal experience for me personally. I mean, going to Evansville, like obviously like in years past I've watched the Elite Eight
Yeah,
on
on
TV,
TV,
like the
yeah.
national championship on TV. It's like actually being there in that moment, it was like I was blown away,
Yeah.
honestly.
Again, like going back to like talking about it versus actually doing it.
Right.
Two very different things. Like talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna go to Evansville, we're gonna do this. Then you're there and it's like, all right, yeah,
Mm.
we're
Making-
here. Let's
yeah.
do it. Yeah, like,
Like
we're
making
here.
it
Let's
happen.
make it happen. Yep.
That was pretty cool.
What about you?
So we got to Evansville on like a Sunday night. We didn't play till Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
And so the first few days we were just kind of getting like pampered with gear. With we had walked through a hallway and there were like Washburn logo lights like flashing in our eyes.
Yeah.
And things like that. And that was just kind of the moment where I was like, wow, like there's 8 teams left. And then we
Yeah.
won there. Then we won a game and there's 4 teams left, and like there's 4 teams left in the country that are playing, and
We're one of them.
everybody's watching us. Everybody wants
That's
to
wild.
be where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either I don't know. Like
Trying to take it in and understand that, like, this is where we were at home sitting watching these teams play a year ago today. So
Yeah.
it was pretty. It's almost surreal. Like, we were there, and I think we all appreciated the moment. But it's still like it was surreal at the time to like
Yeah.
really be there and see it all.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I remember telling my wife, I mean, we don't watch a ton of Washburn stuff,
Mhm.
but when you guys made it to the Elite Eight, Final Four, it's like, hey, are we going to Johnny's tonight? Like, we got to watch the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Like, we got to throw it up and, we'll just hang out.
For
Like, that's
sure.
the first time I've ever said that is let's go out to eat and just watch the Washburn game on
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah,
But
hey.
that's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I heard there were so many people out, like Bullfrogs,
Yep.
Skinnies, Johnny's, like all those places were full of people watching us. And I thought that was one of the coolest things is like seeing a picture of just the
right.
places
Huge.
packed.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Thing
all
on
the
the
Washburn
TV.
games on the TV.
Right.
Yeah, I think that was so
Just the
cool.
yeah. it's
I
pretty
know. It's like
cool.
seeing those like Super Bowl watch parties around the
Exactly.
country
Yeah.
or the World Cup or something.
But it's so cool. I
Yeah.
mean, you guys, being at Washburn, obviously being players, but you're not from here. I mean, that's not something I can say we've ever done.
Yeah.
Like, that's not something that, Washburn's, we're all proud of Washburn and we always are. I'm an alum, but I can't ever say until this year, I said, let's turn on the Washburn game.
yeah.
Like, let's go somewhere and watch this game.
Yeah.
It's like, that's
yeah.
didn't happen.
I think we're all really blessed to have been a part of it. Like, I
Right.
think some of it was like, obviously a lot of it is hard work and putting it in, but some of it too is kind of right place, right time, and all of us being together at the right place, this group of guys connecting the way it did. So I think we're all a little bit lucky to have been in the position that we're in, to be put here and be a part of it. Because it's not just individually, it's as a collective. And so we were just part of the whole team, and I think everyone was a part of it just as much as we were.
Yeah, but
Come
you know
on,
what they
man.
say about luck? Luck is just when preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to prepare.
Yeah.
I
There
think
you
the
go.
coolest or funniest part of all of this was just like the level that we reached was just because we're a group of best friends, like going out there, and it wasn't like we were taking anything too serious or more than it was. Like I remember,
Yeah.
like we would go out there and like make jokes during the games, like during the Elite
Yeah.
Eight games, and we weren't.
That also helps when you're winning. It's easier to
Yeah.
make jokes. When you're up by
Yeah.
30 and there's 6 minutes
Yeah,
left,
exactly.
it's easy to be up there
For
laughing.
sure.
Yeah.
For
But
sure.
no, that he's right though. He's got
Yeah,
good.
like it's just a group of guys that love each other, and it's
That's
it was
yeah,
a
it's
lot of fun.
incredible. We don't have to linger on this too long because I imagine this was a very difficult experience. But walk us through that last game of the tournament. What was that like?
Yeah.
Kind of just as an experience as a player. Like, I mean, you guys had won most of your games by 20, 30 points. The joy, being able to laugh,
Yeah.
and now all of a sudden you're in this. What felt as
Yeah.
a spectator a much higher pressure, much
For sure,
closer
yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I mean, for me, I was going into it thinking of it just as another game. Like, it's not
Right.
going to help me to think of it as, oh, this is going to be a Final Four game. Like, we need to win this
Right.
championship. So
Mhm.
that was my mindset. I obviously I can't read dudes' minds, so like, I don't know what they were thinking. But that was kind of my mindset going into it. Like, trying to try to stay as calm as I can. Honestly, not think about it too much because I'm going to have plenty of time the rest of my life to think about it.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
right now, I just need to go out there and do it. So like those 2 days leading up to that game, I was kind of trying to just not think about it too much, and then it obviously went how it went.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
And you deal with that however you deal with it. Like after the game, it's
Yeah.
sad. Like that's not the way you want to go out. But my dad says you're either the hammer or the nail a lot of time in basketball, and unfortunately, we were the nail in our last game. But
Yeah.
Again, that's how it goes. I don't know what you guys. have
As
to say
far
about
as
it.
the game itself, I think Nova Southeastern's coach actually said this after the game. He was like, "That's the best game we played in 2 years."
Wow.
Mm.
So they played like
their highest level,
Their highest level.
at their highest level, and we
Right.
probably played
Yeah.
one of our lowest.
at our lowest level. So like
Uh-huh.
that right there just didn't help us. But like yeah,
Yeah, like we would came back from deficits at some points in the season, but I mean it was kind of hard to accept even like at the end of the game when we were down. I don't even know how much we were down. 25.
Yeah, enough.
Yeah, enough. and like we had never.
We
been
don't got to get into
We
details.
hadn't been in that position before, so it was kind of hard to go through that as a group.
Yeah.
But obviously, it was the end of the
But it's like
season,
just
so
the
it's hard to
understanding
go
of it
away.
all coming to an end at one time. Like it
Mhm.
seems like it's all you're
Right.
preparing. You're not expecting it to come to an end. Like you're expecting to win. Like
Yeah.
you're pushing yourself to win. So it's like when it all kind of comes to an end, kind of just stops. It's kind of a lot to take in. And so that was the hardest part for me was at least being a senior. I know he has another year, but like being seniors, like knowing, all right, this is the last time. Like, I'm never going to really play for Washburn again. That was the
Mhm.
hardest part for me.
Mm.
But
And you're like probably coming to terms with that in the game
yeah.
where you're realizing,
Mm.
oh, shoot,
Yeah.
we have 5 minutes left. We're down by 25. This is my last game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just understanding. I'm lucky enough that I might have the opportunity to play basketball after college, and so I had that in the back of my mind. But it's still not even like the playing basketball part, but playing basketball with this group of people.
Right.
Like, you
Yeah,
only
yeah.
get to you only get to play, especially in college with this team. Like we only get to play with this group one time. So for it to come to just like a sudden end, it's not really what you want to happen.
Yeah,
But, I
that would
mean,
be hard.
Like I said, that's how sports goes a lot of the time. So
Mhm.
you kind of got to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when as soon as the game was over, I don't know if you texted me or I texted John. It's like, hey, we got to get these guys on the pod. We got to get
Yeah.
some of these guys on the pod. And I think John was like, let's give it a week.
Yeah.
Let's give it a week.
Yeah.
And he goes, and I'll reach out to my guy. And
Yeah,
all right, that's probably a good
'cause,
idea.
yeah, like right after the game, people were telling us like, "Oh, you guys had such a good season," but it's like that's 24 hours after. I don't really want to talk about.
Yeah,
the
you don't
game.
want to hear
Right.
that.
I
No.
know.
But like given
Yeah.
like a week or two after, it's like, all right, you can kind of understand and look back and reflect on the season we had, and it was
Yeah.
like appreciate it a little bit more.
Yeah,
It's like,
absolutely.
in the moment, it's hard, but afterwards, time heals a lot of things.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are some lessons that you've learned or experiences that you're taking with you into the next phase of your life?
I mean, I'll just kind of say the things that I think that I've learned from basketball, being on a team. I don't know if I'll ever be in as high intensity situations as I've been in
Yeah.
basketball with people screaming at me, coaches, players, and expecting me to perform at the highest level. And then even times I fall short, like I have to deal with that and deal with that kind of adversity. And I think that that'll prepare me pretty well for the rest of my life and being able to work as a team and just what college athletics has brought me, like time management and
Yeah.
That's a
Wow.
big one.
yeah,
That is big.
Yeah, and then like I guess just time management is forcing me to focus on academics for a certain amount of time, forcing me to get to bed at the right time and things like that. Just discipline.
Definitely. I mean, covered basically what I was thinking. I think like just the adversity of like the season, like all the highs, all the lows, like being on a basketball team, like I just feel like, especially in like college athletics, like in general, just like the adverse situations are gonna like really prepare you for the next phase in life. Or prepare me, I guess.
Yeah,
from
it goes
personal
back to that
experience.
mental toughness, I think,
Yeah.
where it's like you have to
Yeah.
be mentally, like you were talking about earlier, you have to physically, obviously, as an athlete, you have to be ready, but it's like mentally, you go through things like you're having to show up every day when you don't want to, you're having to push yourself. And that's something that a lot of people that aren't athletes don't understand. Like everyone in here, like we're all hardworking people, like everyone's gone through adverse situations. But it's like a lot of kids our age haven't gone through
Right.
adverse situations. Like they haven't
Right.
been yelled at by somebody saying, you're doing this wrong, like do
Right.
it right.
Yeah.
And
How
so
are you
when
going to
it come-
respond
yeah.
to that? Yeah.
And so like when real life hits them and like their boss is yelling at them, like this is what Coach Ballard says. I don't like quoting Coach Ballard, but it is what it is. He says a lot like when our boss yells at us and it's like, hey, you're doing this wrong, it's gonna be like, all right, I'll do it right. I'll do
Yeah.
it. But like a lot of people that will get yelled at and then they'll shut down because they've never experienced someone yelling at them or
Right.
being that intense with them before. And so
or even having to face like your own failure
Yeah.
and having to address like,
Mhm.
what are you going to do about this?
Yeah.
Are you going to walk away
Yeah.
or are you going to lean in and try
Yep.
like take it to the next level?
yep.
Thoughts on how NIL is affecting D2 and D1?
Division two, I don't think it's affecting it near as much as Division one, obviously. But it's like just those high major, those Power Four schools like the SEC, Big 12, like all those schools. They just have so much money. I think it's obvious. College athletes deserve to be paid, in my opinion, just because the NCAA is making billions of dollars every year off of them, and the athletes that are creating that money get zero of it. So I think it's fair for them to. I just don't know. I'm obviously people that made these rules are a lot smarter than me, so I don't know how to regulate that more. But I think there should be different types of rules. Maybe I don't know. Yeah.
I think there should definitely be some regulations to like how much we're giving players, because like you're really like schools are literally buying players now.
Right.
Like,
Right.
they're buying players to play for them, which is crazy to think, and they're making 7 figures.
Like everybody is. It's crazy. And like dudes that we've played against or played with, and we're like,
They're all right.
like
Yeah.
they're good. Like they're good. They're gonna go D1. They're gonna go great.
Right.
But they're not.
They're not that much better than us. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like
right,
we feel
yeah.
like we're obviously like the top guys in Division 1 are like
Sure.
those NBA guys, like they're amazing. But some of those lower level guys, like we could compete with them. And so
Wow.
it's like seeing that is like frustrating is not the right word,
Like
because
they're
you want to
making
see
a
other
lot of
people.
money.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
want to see other people
Yeah.
succeed. I'm not
Right,
saying that.
right.
It's not
it's
frustration
like-
or jealousy. It's
No,
just
it's
like,
more just like it's
wow.
like yeah, like
those
It's
guys are
crazy.
good.
Wow.
To, like, put it in
Yeah.
perspective.
Yeah.
mhm.
Dang. Okay, so Coach Ballard in his prime versus you in your prime, 1v1.
Oh my
I'm frying
god.
Coach Ballard.
He's not
Yeah.
scared, but
What would you say?
11
You're frying him?
11
You're frying him?
I'm frying
You
him.
said what?
11-0.
Okay,
11
on
and
you.
Yeah. Well, I'm always gonna talk. I'm always gonna say that. Yeah.
He's not scared.
I'm always
We're gonna
say
cut
that.
this and send it right to him.
Yeah,
Text it to him.
seriously.
Hey, bro. Oh man, that's hilarious. How long would me and Justin have to train to be able to dunk?
To dunk?
And keep in
Yeah.
mind, John, how tall are you?
6.5.
6.5 or 5'8".
I think if you were to just go and buy a trampoline, that's probably
your best bet.
That's probably gonna be your best bet. If you're not up there already, then it's gonna be.
Oh man.
It's tough.
Not being from Topeka, if you guys could bring anything like a restaurant or a thing to do to Topeka, what would you bring?
Wine, bro.
That was
Yeah, I
literally
knew
thinking
you-
that.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hawaiian Bros,
Hawaiian
100%.
Bros is tough.
Yes.
I'm trying to think.
We don't
There's
have
a
Canes.
Zach
Canes?
Okay.
So, like,
yeah.
Yeah, Zaxby's
The
is
chicken
good.
restaurants.
Canes, yeah.
like
Probably
Hawaiian
just
Bros, the big
more
one.
of these fast food restaurants, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm from Kansas City, so there's unlimited. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's
Barbecue.
Yeah, barbecue. Yeah, Kansas City Joe's,
Oh,
stuff like
snap.
Is there something in
Man.
Topeka, a restaurant that you like that isn't in Kansas City?
that. Mizu.
Ooh,
I like Mizu.
good call. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Mizu.
It's
Me and my
fire.
girlfriend go there a lot.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
$22 all you can eat, and
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
put down at least $22 worth of
Oh,
stuff.
I can imagine you
it's
can.
not.
yeah.
It's not too difficult.
You had that locked and loaded.
I know, man.
Yeah.
That was easy for you. You
Yeah.
guys, anything?
I guess just like Mexican taco shop.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some,
Margarita
It's
Jalisco's.
Yes,
Yeah,
my
those two.
man.
That place is good.
That's our go-to, bro.
Jalisco's is probably the number one answer, though.
Yeah, it really
That's
is.
I spent the most time and money there out of any other place in Topeka
Yeah.
by far.
That's
Guys,
probably
place.
true of my family too. I think we
Yeah.
go there more often
Yeah.
than anywhere else.
You have any others?
Yeah. So if you guys were to play a game of horse with us, would you guys get any letters?
yeah.
I think
I
so.
think
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys would make something that
I
we're
appreciate
just-
that.
Yeah,
Really,
that's
yeah,
very
for
That
generous.
was very generous of you guys.
Yeah.
That's right. Good
What about if
answer.
you guys playing horse, just the three of you? Who's winning that?
I think it's. I mean, they're honestly going to say themselves. It's up in the air. I mean, any of us could win on any day. It's really
Yeah.
about horse. Horse is a little bit of luck
Yeah.
because you're shooting shots that like, all right. You got to shoot it super high in the air and make.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of
You
nobody
gotta
ever
bounce this one.
practices.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
No, yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
How many potholes did you hit on the way over here today?
At least
How
one.
many
There's
potholes
one.
you said?
There's a
Yeah.
big one on the way here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just drove from across the street, right?
Yeah.
It's a 30-second drive. There's
Yeah.
room for
Yeah.
2 or 3.
There's
Yeah.
a big one on McVicker.
Oh yeah, like right when you
Yeah.
turn off
President
17th
Magistrate's
onto McVicker going left,
Yeah.
like towards
Yeah.
21st.
Yeah.
There's a big right in front of the president's mansion or whatever.
Yeah,
big
yeah.
was. There's a huge
Uh-huh.
pothole right there.
Yeah.
Got all the places for there to be a pothole right in front of the president's house. It's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
funny.
Do you guys have a favorite coffee shop?
I've heard
I'm
really
not-
good things about the circle one.
Yeah.
And that's right across from my house. So
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
good.
maybe go check that out.
They're in college. They haven't quite appreciated the
I was
college.
just-
Yeah.
I'm not a
No,
big.
I'm not a
And
big-
they're
not a big
athletes.
coffee
They're
Yeah,
like
exactly.
healthy.
But I do like the Circle coffee place because they have like burgers on like
Yeah.
Thursdays,
Oh,
Fridays.
Thursday
Yeah,
Club.
Thursday
Yeah.
They have
Club.
like
Yeah.
the coffee, it's like
Yeah.
a coffee bar. Yeah, the coffee bar just down the street, like right on the corner.
Right,
Of 17th
yeah,
and
17th,
Washburn. That
yeah.
place is
Yeah.
cool. One of my roommates works there, so I get
Oh, okay, nice.
perks. Everyone, free coffee is better than anything.
Yeah,
So it's like that makes it taste better when it's free.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know. Yeah, honestly, circle is really probably just because it's so close. It's nice to be able to go there. It's so close to campus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can close with. Did you have one last thing?
Well, I was just say for all of our tens of followers, if someone wanted to reach out to you and offer you buku NIL money, how could they get a hold of you? You guys on socials?
Yeah. I mean, we all have Instagram. You can probably reach out. You can find it on the Washburn men's basketball. Yeah. If you just go, it's all our names. So like if you
Perfect.
look up our names, it'll be pretty easy to find.
Come
It's
on,
pictures
let's
of
go.
us in Washburn jerseys.
There we
So
go.
hopefully we'll be
hard to
pretty
miss.
easy
Easy to find.
Yeah.
Wide open. Don't hesitate to reach
Don't
out.
Don't
hesitate.
Come on.
Yeah, he's got more. He's got another. All inquiries go to Sam.
Yeah. We're gonna partner with you on this post and promote like, hey, I'm looking for a job. Here's my resume.
His LinkedIn
Yeah.
profile has been updated.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, guys, thank you guys so much for coming
Thank
on.
you.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah.
being here,
Yeah.
guys.
Congratulations to a huge season. Man, I just believe the best for you guys and excited for the future for
Way
you
to make
guys.
Topeka proud.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
Thank you guys.
Cool.
Thank you, Topeka.